Hello, hi, Debbie here. I've said that I would do a question and answer, so I'm going to do that today. I have the lovely James here. He's going to ask me all the questions that people have sent in through YouTube or Facebook or whatever. But first of all, I need to get myself into the channel in state. So bear with me. That takes about a minute. And what I suggest you do while I do that is to do exactly the same. Tune in, and then you'll know if this is for you or not. Okay, so bear with me. Yes, we are here. We are here today, and we have come to answer some questions. And we are looking forward to this. We have been awaiting your questions, and we are happy today that they have been put together and will be asked. So we are ready when you are ready with your questions.
Well, thank you for being with us today. I'll jump straight in with the questions. And the first one we have is, why did we not see the moon approach or leave during the solar eclipse? Is it possible it was something other than the moon?
This is an interesting question, and it has many answers, as many answers as there are occupants on your planet Earth. So for some, that was the moon, and the moon came, and the sun was shining so brightly that it almost cancelled out the light in the moon. The glare from the sun was too much for you with the naked eye to see, and the moon did in fact pass by the sun and come through out the other side. There is also a situation where this, particularly on what you might call a flat Earth, where it was done from above through a hole in the firmament, which projected what appeared to be something circular that covered the sun for a brief moment. There is also the situation where this could have been your central sun making a quick appearance to see what is happening in your Earth, on your Earth. There is also the chance that this was the black sun appearing for a moment to experience Earth in this way. But because there are so many different versions of Earth, each human is conducting their own experiment, their own play. So each will have their theory. And not only their theory, this will be the actual event for them, because each are creating the experience. So it is whichever experience they need to see. But indeed, the sun was darkened for this period of time. And the most important thing for this moment was to get you to reflect, to go within, and to be quiet for this amazing feat, however it was created. And for you to see that when the new sun appeared, which is in actual fact the same sun or it could be a different sun. This also depends on who it is who is creating the reality. You are creating your own reality. But what this represents is where you, after this date, have almost been reborn. And it is a time for the new, a time for you to experience life in a different way. And you may feel that you have changed since this event. And that is the only important thing, whether it was projected from the moon, from above, from within, from without. That is not the important thing. The important thing is that this happened and it allowed you to be renewed and to live your life in a different way. We hope this suffices.
Okay, thank you. Next question. If there are infinite parallel realities happening now, what is the thread that connects them all, and how do we make the most loving choices for everyone involved? Once enough of us have called our power back, how do we create heaven on earth for everybody? Or must there always be the shadow, evil, unconscious, so that we have a perceived opposite to help us grow? Or can we grow without the conflict? Thank you.
You have put a hint to the answer in the question yourself here when you ask about the thread of reality. And in actual fact, there are so many people who could all be considered threads. And those threads are wound and wound and wound into what you would see as a rope. And that is what you all are when it comes to source. You are all intertwined, all one thread, all one being, all one living reality. And in this way, all are intertwined into one. So when you ask, how can we create heaven on earth for others? You create heaven on earth for yourself. And in this way, it is looking at your shadows and allowing them to go, building forgiveness into your life, building joy into your life, building everything into your life that you wish for others. And when you do so in this way, it changes the reality that you see, and there will no longer be darkness. There will no longer be wars. It is all up to you. So all these parallel realities that you are also having are also like a thread. So although you are in many different realities all at once, when they are all wound up together, again, we have that one thread that leads into the threads of all the others who are playing this game with you. So it is the one soul, your one oversoul that is playing this game. So all of those are happening all at once. There is only this moment. So you cannot be having those experiences at different times. They are all happening at once. And the most important one is the life that you are living at this very moment, in this very time, in this very space. When you make this one complete, when you continue in this way, you start to join the other higher dimensional versions of you that are entangled in this thread, that are making up this rope. And you will start to have better and stronger and deeper experiences, higher dimensional living, a higher dimensional way of being. And in doing so, this is what changes your earth and all that you see. And in turn, this happens for everybody around you, because in actuality, there really is only you.
Okay, next 4 or 5 questions, all regarding the 3 days of sleep that the Sassani went through. Could you tell us who put them into that sleep? Was it their planet consciousness, their creators? Do they even know which consciousness was involved?
This is a very interesting question, and it is a part of all of those. And this is not Zeelandra that is here at this moment, but we are connected to Zeelandra, which is feeding in the information that they would like to actually answer this question in full. And how they will do this is they will create a separate video, all to do with those 3 days of sleep, the 3 days of slumber, as it has been referred to. So this will be a separate video. Zeelandra is feeding in the information that it was a mixture of these, but to explain this in detail, he would like to do this himself. So we'll make this a separate video.
Maybe it's worth telling people that may not have heard of this exactly what we're talking about.
The 3 days of slumber?
There.
Okay, so in an earlier video that Zeelandra made, explained about 3 days of slumber, where all of their society, all of their civilization was put into a slumber. And in this slumber, they became enlightened. They started to understand what it was that was going on in the world, and what it was that was causing all that was going on in the world. And it was also suggested to them and shown to them how this could be fixed. And after these 3 days of slumber, when they came out of this slumber, they were in a completely different version of Earth. It looked the same in a lot of ways, but there were some things, such as the seas being cleared up, them no longer having war, no longer having worries. All of this was dealt with in the 3 days of slumber. And Zeelandra is a Sassani being that has been channeled by this channel, this vessel that is channeling now. This information was channeled in an earlier video. So this question has come from that. Also, Bashar has mentioned the 3 days of slumber, and it is surprising when this vessel started to channel and was being given information about the 3 days of slumber. And this was what made the channel feel that this information was coming from a true source. And this is why she continues to channel that being. But you can ask more questions on this 3 days of slumber if you wish, and it may be referred back to the video. But let's hear what questions you have, and then we will know.
Was that something specific for the Sassani, or will other civilizations experience the same? Will humans go through the same thing?
Okay, we can only speak for the Sassani, because it is only the Sassani who mention this 3 days of slumber. We would not say that this will happen for other civilizations, but don't forget that Sassani are a version of you in the future. So there is a possibility, and this will be explained more in the video. The video has already been recorded, but not released yet, because when she has been channeling, she has been instructed which videos to put next. And there is 1 or 2 before this, but she has been informed that there is a reason for this. But this video has already been channeled, having had a look at some of the questions.
What about the animals? Did they sleep as well?
And that was explained, that the animals did go into a slumber, but not as deep a slumber as the other beings on that planet at the time. And this was because that perhaps it was suggested that they were holding the space for this to actually happen. So yes, they slept, but almost slept like the way a cat would sleep, with nearly one eye open, as opposed to the deep slumber that the Sassani civilization experienced themselves.
There was resistance to the change from the Sassani who were in power positions.
This slumber happened for all of the Sassani civilization. Nobody resisted, but it was not possible also for them to resist the slumber. It was only possible for them to resist the suggestions that were made and the information that was gathered. They could have rejected that and moved on and stayed how they were, but the information and the beauty that came from that sleep was too fulfilling for them to turn down. So all took advantage of this situation, and those that did not awaken from the slumber, but they were very, very few. Most awoke and lived a completely different life in a completely different environment after this situation.
It's not something that's likely to happen to humans.
Sassani are a future version of Earthlings.
Right.
So read into that as you wish.
Okay, so next question is, hi, I channel ancient Native American Lakota. I speak the language fluently, but do not know what is being said. People all the time want to know the meaning, but I can't give an answer. Can you please advise?
We are feeling into this, and we are feeling that it is more of a light language, more of a soul language that is coming through. If it is, as you suggest, the actual language, it would be best to just find an interpreter who speaks that same language and they can interpret for you. But basically what you are doing, the feeling that we are getting from this is a light language more so than an actual conversational language. So in each piece of sound that comes through, there is so much information coming through, more so than there would be if it was a normal conversation. And this can be frustrating because there is so much in there, and curiosity wants us to understand what it is that is coming through. And this is also, Debbie speaks what is called light language or soul language or cosmic language. And she is not always sure what the information is that is coming through. But she has found that if she's doing work for somebody else, it sometimes comes through in the language, the light language, and then through in English. But this is not the same in all cases. And in fact, this is in very few cases. But when this happens, it is best to just understand that this is coming from a powerful, powerful source. And this source is coming through you. And the most important thing is, when you are speaking this language, when you are particularly signing with this language, you are giving out so many healing vibes. You're giving out so much information. And it is information that perhaps you are not ready to understand yourself. And this is absolutely fine, because there are so many people who speak light language who are not ready to understand exactly what it is. But what we would say is, as you are doing this, just see, wait, give a space to see if your own language, your own native language will also come through. This happens for this channel who is channeling at this moment once in a while, but it is not something that happens all the time. The most important thing about this is that it is doing so much work. It is doing something at a level higher than you are ready to understand. In fact, something higher than most humans are ready to understand. But if it is purely conversational that you are speaking about, you could speak to the Native Americans who speak this language. I'm sure there would be many willing to help. But if you look deeper And even if you ask them to help you, I think they will also say that this is deeper than conversational. We hope this assists.
Okay, thank you. Can we ask about Bashars' triangle for contacting the Sassani?
Well, Bashar gives out a triangular shape. It's blue. And he says that this is their calling card. And he says to meditate on this, and for contact, it will help to contact the Sassani people. But to find out more, it is best to look on Bashar's teachings, and he will explain.
Okay, this person wants to know how many civilizations can be found at that frequency. Are the ones from Zol the closest to them?
The one that Bashar puts out is mainly for the Sassani race. Different civilizations have different calling cards, but this is the one that he puts out for the Sassani.
No, she was just asking if the tone shade of blue is a key, but you've just answered that, I think.
It is, in a way. There are many shades of blue in the triangle, and if you look at the triangle, you can see the shades of blue. But if you turn it in different ways, or look deeper, or look in a deeper way, you will see how many shades of blue are there. And all those shades of blue are made up of lots of tiny little dots. You won't see this probably with the naked eye, but there are many, many different dots. And those dots are the ones that are connected to the different civilizations. And when Zeelandra is channeled, he also helps Debbie, the channel, to find a thumbnail. And they have all to date been different shades of blue. And the channel, Debbie, has been unsure why we have all these different color blues. And sometimes she will find a thumbnail and she will be told, no, a little darker or a little lighter, or make this a little bit fresher or a little bit darker. And this is because when she channels Zeelandra, Zeelandra is from Sassani, but Zeelandra is not just one being. Zeelandra is a collective. That is why you will find lots of different likenesses of the being that would be called Zeelandra. There only is one that talks, that comes through, that channels, but they are all different beings, and they are all different slight shades of blue that are pulled in. So when Debbie is channeling Zeelandra, the questions that come true in different tones. So this is a little bit like the calling card. This is why there are so many different blues in there, even if they are not so noticeable to the naked eye at first. Blue is a part of the calling card in many different, it attracts many different beings.
Another question from this person is, she tried to contact the Sassani, but an insectoid answered. Do you know the species?
It is feeling like a mantis being. Mantis beings are, their main role is they are explorers. So when you put out your call, they heard your call, and they were just interested in who was putting out the call. They also help with any what would have been called in the old times abductions, and they ensure that everything is very much allowed by the person, the abductee, that they have agreed to it, that nobody is breaking any rules, that nothing is against anybody's free will. So they are overseers in this way. So perhaps the fact that an insecticide being, a mantis being, came through was to ensure that everything was as it is supposed to be. But if you want to contact the Sassani, it will be possible, but perhaps not right at this time, but it will come through. Just continue to meditate on the colors, and perhaps even look at some of the colors on the YouTube thumbnails. And these colors apparently have something that helps to attract those who are ready to be connected to the Sassani people, Sassani civilization. May of this helps.
Yeah, she also asking, are other Sassani willing to contact humans beside first contact specialists, and also are they all benevolent to humans?
Frequency, if your frequency is already high and you've not consumed lots of alcohol and you're not taking drugs and you are a clear channel, you will only get what is supposed to come through for you, and there is nothing to worry about in this case. And that is perhaps why the insecticide being came true. Perhaps it was guarding you for something that you weren't ready for. Perhaps at the moment you were calling them true, you had consumed something that could have called true, something that would be too much for you to handle. Try this again, particularly when you are completely clear. And whoever is supposed to come through will come through. There will be more beings coming through, more for first contact, because this is the time, as you know, for first contact. So there will be many doing this, but there are also beings coming through just to give information, beings that you can speak with, beings that can fill you in, that will help you on your path. But remember that we are all one. So all of this information is inside of you. So try to go deeper inside of yourself first and go into the reason why you are trying to get contact. Try to have a purpose when you do this. And it will be successful in the future. Not right yet, but very soon. Ensure that you have worked on yourself fully with the forgiveness and all of the shadow side of things, and you will only get true, pure information from a higher aspect of yourself, having a situation in another reality, as in Sassani. Ensure that you are going to be a clear channel, and you will be contacted by whoever it is that you are best suited to, whether that be Sassani or another race. Thank you.
Okay, that's all the questions for now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave you in peace.
Okay.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you. We have enjoyed answering these questions today, and we will do this again in the future. A lot of the questions, as we said, about the Sassani people and the 3 days of slumber will be separate, and that is quite good information. Today, the Mantis civilization, but we are being helped also by Sassani and other civilizations, including the Syrians and including the ancient ones. So although this has been the one being given this information, they have been fed information from the other civilizations because those questions were connected in a way to other civilizations. Well, thank you. Well, I hope they were all answered. I don't know. I look back and listen, and I'll put this out regardless. Thank you very much. Thank you for your questions. And if you've got any more questions, you can still put them onto the same thread. Well, it's somewhere that we can go back to for questions. And thank you very much. Much love. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed that, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I love reading your comments. Bye.